Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Alex. This is
Brandon Budgeon.
We
are GetMuchHigherPodcasts.
GetMuchHigherPodcasts. This is an album review. It's not a track by track like a lot of the other ones we have done. It's going to be a little more like the Kid Cudi one. Thank you, by the way. We got a great response on the Kid Cudi review.
Yeah.
A lot of views, a lot of likes, not a lot of likes, but a lot of views nonetheless. And it's still growing, so that's great. Keep watching that. Even if you watch it over again, just watch it again and again.
And don't forget to hit subscribe. But anyways, what we're talking about today is the new Lil Wayne mixtape called No Ceilings 2. And you're a huge Lil Wayne fan.
I am, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Well,
and we had the pleasure of listening to this album, and we both had some similar thoughts about it. I don't want to reveal too much right now. But you're a big Lil Wayne fan. You listen to all his mixtapes and things like that. So how did this one stack up for you? What did you think about No Ceilings 2?
In comparison to other mixtapes of his, specifically No Ceilings 1, for these mixtapes, he raps over other beats, like other rappers' beats. And, the past year, just like dope tracks that he's enjoyed. But it's always been like, he kind of like Jay-Z. He walks into the booth, he freestyles a bit, he raps, but there's really nothing too written or too apparently written.
Yeah.
And then he walks down, that's a song, right? He rapped over Run This Town on No Ceilings.
Yeah.
And that was like a really good song, actually. Killed that. That's what I was expecting with No Ceilings too, and I think that's what a lot of people were expecting. But the biggest thing that stuck out for me on this is that the bigger songs in which he's rapping over previous beats, for example, he raps over a lot of beats from What a Time to Be Alive, the future album. It sounds like it's almost like his songs on this are spoofs. So, for example, in Hotline Bling, it's like he's rapping exactly
it's
like...
almost like a joke, though.
Yeah. And it's like that through the entirety of the album. And also, Lil Wayne's subject matter was never crazy.
It's never his strong point.
No, neither was his lyricism or anything. But he always had his own thing that he did.
Yeah.
And like he stuck to that shit. That's what he was known for.
Yeah.
And he didn't even go by those roots in this mixtape. He's just saying the stupidest shit. And like he says stupid shit sometimes. That's his thing. Like he does talk about some bullshit, but it's more present in this album in this mixtape than ever before. And it doesn't give it the right feel. For example, he raps over My Name Is, right? From like an old Eminem beat. Yeah. And I would be okay if he was talking about bullshit and just like talking out of his ass for that beat if it was only on that song on this mixtape and that was the one-off, right? It's like, okay, that's fine. It's like, it's that beat, it's one song on the mixtape.
It's a silly beat.
Yeah, but throughout the entirety of this mixtape, that's all we get. In comparison to what he released previously this year, which was the Free Weezy album, which I think is top 3 best album drops this year. This did not stand out to it at all. And it actually makes me scared for the Carter 5.
Yeah, so that's one thing I noticed, because I'm not the biggest Lil Wayne fan. I haven't heard all his mixtapes and things like that. It just never struck me as someone that I resonated with, an artist I resonated with. For those reasons that you said, like he's not an overly lyrical artist. He's not necessarily known for his subject matter and having direction to his songs. And like a lot of these songs just seems like he was going line by line. Like he was just putting a bunch of like interesting lines and interesting wordplays together. And at times it had its moments and it was entertaining. Yeah. Like on that Hotline Bling song that he did, and then he did some version of Jumpman.
Yeah, really like Plastic Bag, stuff like that.
Yeah, and like he had a few moments here and there, but it just seemed like it was just this big mess. Yeah,
it's like he sat down with the lyrics for these previous songs, and then changed all the words, as opposed to creating his own new piece, or just walking into the booth and freestyling over like the beat. It sounds like he's just sitting down with Hotline Bling. Okay, I used to call you from ever since you got the titties, like it doesn't make sense. Like it's,
there's no like end point. It's not like a beginning, middle, end. It's just like a bunch of beginnings.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not expecting Lil Wayne to be able to go back and do exactly what he did on albums or mixtapes like the Drought 3 or like the Carter 2 or the Carter 3. I'm not expecting him to go exactly back to his roots and produce that exact type of music to when he was the king. Right? But at least show some sort of spec or some sort of evidence that you did used to be the king.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's still known as the king of mixtapes, but it doesn't make him look like he is with pieces like this.
Exactly. That was gonna be the next thing I was gonna say. Is if you were told that this guy's the king of mixtapes, and then you listen to this as your first mixtape from Lil Wayne, you would be like, well,
no way.
Like, who else made a mixtape? Like, like every other mixtape that I've heard this year was better than this, and it just didn't seem like you put any kind of effort into writing this album, or like usually mixtapes, if you don't put a concept to it or whatever, at least there's verses that you might not have used on an actual song, and you used it on a mixtape, and it was still hot, and it's still worth putting out. You know what I mean? But like, it just didn't seem like this was even worth putting out, and for him to do that, I think it took balls to just put that ball.
We were saying that the biggest point in this mixtape, and what took the most what took the most balls, which is the biggest leap for Lil Wayne and dropping this mixtape, was having the balls to fucking drop it.
Yeah. That was the most impressive thing about this mixtape.
Yeah.
I just remember, I can't remember off the top of my head what the exact lines were, but there was a few lines there that were just like, he was repeating himself over and over again, and he was rhyming just dumb words with each other. Yeah. And it was just like, stop insulting our intelligence.
Yeah.
Like, as hip-hop fans.
Like, Lil Wayne's a smart guy, too.
Yeah.
Like, the dude, what fucking thing does he have? Schooly thing does he have?
He's psychology or something like that? I don't know for exactly what it was, but he does have a degree.
Yeah. Like, he's not a stupid guy. Like, as a part of himself, like, part of his persona as a rapper is being this smart guy that acts all dumb and is awesome, right? And like, he's an A1 rapper. Is that what Charlamagne references him as?
It's talking about basketball and one rapper.
And one rapper.
Meaning he's got all these cool tricks, and he's got all these like crossovers and different flows and different what is it, like word plays, like interesting and funny.
All the building bricks for a great rapper.
But he's doing it away from the hoop.
Yeah.
He's just doing a bunch of crossovers, like on the other end of the court, nowhere near the hoop. He's not trying to score.
And that's what this mixtape was.
That's what it showed, yeah. And it kind of exposed him. And one thing that we talked about when we listened to this album is he was just recently put on Billboard's Top 10.
Yeah, and this was not the thing to drop after being put on Billboard's Top 10.
Not at all.
No, that's sad, almost. Like, he was put next to, whose name was he right underneath? Kendrick's. And even Kendrick, I don't think is on, top 10 worthy. But you still can't, put those two together, right throughout this mixtape.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
and you're saying you're nervous for Carter 5?
Yeah.
I didn't listen to No Ceilings 1. No Ceilings 1, I presume, came out before Carter 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been a few years.
It came out, just after Blueprint 3.
Carter 3. Blueprint 3?
Yeah, because he rapped over on this town.
Oh, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. I thought you meant, his album.
No.
I'm like, what are you talking about? This is a hip-hop channel. Yeah, so, what was No Ceilings 1 like? Was it, compared to this?
No Ceilings, it wasn't his best mixtape. His best mixtape, at least in my opinion, was definitely Drought 3. His best album was Carter 3. And there's a lot of things from this album, from this mixtape that you could take away from that, right? The biggest thing he had going for him in the Drought 3 and the Carter 3, No Ceilings 1, prefix, suffix, all these mixtapes and albums, is that he shows how creative he is.
Yeah.
He shows how many different aspects to Lil Wayne there are. He's rapping in all different flows every song, different things every song, but it's still the same Wayne.
Yeah.
Whereas this, we got one side of Lil Wayne, and that was the side that it was a side of his personality we'd seen before, but emphasized and through the roof, and it was too much. That's what this mixtape was too much.
Not enough.
Too much and not enough at the same time.
Yeah.
What was it you were saying with the Birdman thing?
Oh, I was saying that after, I can't remember what the track it was, but I have it in my notes that I have not revisited, but it just seemed to me like he doesn't have Birdman in his corner anymore. This is the second project he's released without Birdman in his corner. I think he probably recorded the Free Weezy, while he was still affiliated with Birdman. And it just kind of seems like maybe with Birdman without his corner, he doesn't have that filter to say come on, get your shit together, make the record. You know what I mean? Instead of just go out there and just do whatever you want. Yeah. And that's we'll see that when it comes to Carter 5. We'll see what that really looks like.
Unless this album unless this mixtape, really is what you were saying earlier. What if this mixtape is entirely about insulting or testing his viewer's audience?
Yeah, it could be.
If you think about it, he released like the Freebies album was really good. Like I've said that many times. What was I talking about?
About testing the patience and testing the commitment of his fans.
What if this mixtape was about seeing how far he could push those boundaries, seeing how stupid he could be, and then he comes out as boom, Carter 5. You didn't see that coming. Thought that last mixtape was good. I don't know why. Well, this one's better.
If that's the case,
that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm praying for.
Yeah, I mean, as a Lil Wayne fan or a hip hop fan, you kind of hope for that. But that being said, if that's really what he did do, then I don't think that was a good choice. Mm-hmm. I don't think an artist should put out crap on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't do that to your fans. You shouldn't underwhelm your fans, and you just like, if you don't think it's a good representation of your work, then what do you think of your fans?
Yeah, okay. I remember what I was gonna say now. I think that last point I said after I got lost, that was not what I was gonna say before I got lost. Okay, Lil Wayne has been in the game, in the rap game. Fucking, he was signed when he was what, 14?
Something like that.
When he was stupid young. I want to say 14. I could be wrong. Let's pretend for now. He got signed when he was 14 years of age. He has been in this music game for so fucking long.
20 years.
It would make sense for him to be fucking with people. Because he knows this game. Whether or not he looks like it or acts like it, he knows this game inside out by now.
He should.
He's seen every album drop, every mixtape drop, every drama that's come up since he was 14 years old.
He should, but the thing is, he's been in the game since 14 years old. How out of touch is he? He's been rich since 14. How out of touch would the guy be? And like, I remember like when he had that little back and forth, a small back and forth with Jay-Z, and he was talking about like kidnap your wife and like got your baby mama and stuff like that. And it's like, you're not really gonna do that. Like, everyone knows you're not really gonna like kidnap Beyonce. Like, Beyonce is bigger than you. Yeah. Like, and then Jay came back with like a true line. Was like, my baby mama got more money than you, or something like that. Yeah. And just like, it was just true. And it's just like, Lil Wayne always seems to just say a bunch of stuff that's not really relevant. And not really like really you're saying that? It doesn't make any sense. No. So it's like, I think this is just another example of that. And I don't think he belongs in the top 10 for that reason alone, just because he's not rapping about anything. Yeah. And like, that's where rapping comes from. Rapping is, back in the day, you talk about stuff and it developed into rapping. You're conveying a message in the form of like a song. Yeah, it's like we're getting really off topic here. But if you ask me what hip hop was, I'd say it's like mixed between poetry and rock and roll. It is. Well, I mean, the music side of it, but like where the actual rapping came from. Yeah. Like that came from like discussing shit. Yeah. Discussing politics, discussing complaining and things like that. And not complaining, but like, you know, talking about having substance, having problems and things like that. And you just talk about it and it developed into a song, right? And he's just getting way too away from that to even call it hip hop for me. Now, the other mixtape that we reviewed earlier this year that we gave like the worst review, I think, out of anyone that we've done so far was What a Time to Be Alive. Oof. Yeah, we gave that one probably about less than 4 each, I think. I remember doing like 3 or 3.5 or something like that. We just gave it an awful score, and that was the worst one up until this point. My question to you is, What a Time to Be Alive or this one? What's worse? And get rid of this whole idea that you're a Lil Wayne fan. Oh yeah, no. I be completely objective here. Listening to both these records for the first time with no idea who each artist is. What a Time to Be Alive is better. Yeah. You heard it first, man. We both said a Drake album was better. Drake and Future album was better than the Lil Wayne album. That's a sad day in hip hop. Okay, on that fucking depressing note, okay. I guess we can only wait until the Carter 5, and then we can review that. Maybe do an actual track-by-track review for that one, which you guys know. Yeah. And I just want to finish by saying Lil Wayne is a lot better than this album you showed. Don't listen to this mixtape and be like, Lil Wayne blows. Go listen to Drought 3, Carter 2, Carter 3, maybe Carter 4, but it's a little more commercialized. And maybe Carter.
Yeah, it's a little harder to listen to than 2 and 3, but yeah, even the Carter 1 is good.
His sound was a little bit different, but I liked it when he was
or just the easy thing and listen to No Ceilings 1, because that was...
Yeah, I mean, don't judge him by this. We love you, Wayne.
Bye.
We had the pleasure of listening to this album, and we both had some similar thoughts about it. I don't want to reveal too much right now, but you're a big Lil Wayne fan. You listen to all his mixtapes and things like that. So how did this one stack up for you? What did you think about No Ceilings 2?
In comparison to other mixtapes of his... Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Alex. This is...
Brandon Budgeon.
This...
We are... Get Much Higher Podcast.
Get Much Higher Podcast. This is an album review. It's not a track by track like a lot of the other ones we have done. It's going to be a little more like the Kid Cudi one. Thank you, by the way. We got a great response on the Kid Cudi review.
Yeah.
A lot of views, a lot of likes. Not a lot of likes, but a lot of views nonetheless. And it's still growing, so that's great. Keep watching that. Even if you watch it over again, just watch it again and again.
And don't forget to hit subscribe. But anyways, what we're talking about today is the new Lil Wayne mixtape called No Ceilings 2. And you're a huge Lil Wayne fan.
I am, unfortunately.
Well, and
specifically No Ceilings 1. For these mixtapes, he raps over other beats, like other rappers' beats. And, the past year, just like dope tracks that he's enjoyed. But it's always been like he kind of like Jay-Z. He walks into the booth, he freestyles a bit, he raps, but there's really nothing too written or too apparently written.
Yeah.
And then he walks down, that's a song, right? He rapped over Run This Town on No Ceilings.
Yeah.
And that was like a really good song, actually. Killed that. That's what I was expecting with No Ceilings too, and I think that's what a lot of people were expecting. But the biggest thing that stuck out for me on this is that the bigger songs in which he's rapping over previous beats, for example, he raps over a lot